After we download Anaconda, we will install it. Just next, next, destination folder. We should change it. For example, we change to driver D because my driver C is full. Okay, make new folder Anaconda. Okay, next. Then next and this. So we have installed Anaconda. So check it. More. Yeah, Anaconda Jupyter is on here, but now we just run an example. Okay, C user, maybe that's T here. The C user and usernames is automatically locate is the default location, but we can change it. For example, we want to create it's the main thing here. Press new folder. For example, here we choose E, and for the new folder, deep learning, and we want to open Jupyter from here. We just type cmd, okay, and you can press Jupyter notebook. It will open Jupyter in this folder, and we create it. Okay, try something new. New Python. We change the name. Sample 1. Rename, and we just try something simple. Print hello world, and done. And the console here, so we see that is work. And back to our job, we want to install the LabelImg to label the image for Yolo v5 training. Here, use LabelImg we can install it based on the link here. Just click, and this is an open source, and it have some tutorial to install. We have Anaconda, so we will find the instruction for Anaconda. So here, first we will run this to install Qt file, py file. Just copy it, Anaconda here, and we paste. Oh, sorry. We have to wait. I will close the others because my computer is slow and we need to save the memory, so we close. Close. We open. Yes. Done. Now we run next. Now XML. And you see we have to download a LabelImg directory. So come here and download. Open folder, and we will copy it to the folder deep learning in private E. And paste here and extract. And after extract, we have the subfolder. So rename it and copy it to outside. Rename it. So more option is Windows 11 is not convenient like Windows 10. Okay, and I will cut it and paste outside for easy using. And I delete this folder. Okay, delete this. And we have a directory LabelImg, LabelImg. Go back to this. Now read the instruction. Now we must move to this folder LabelImg to run this command. So we are installing XML. We have to install it. And now finished, we will move to LabelImg folder by the command cd e deep learning. Sorry. deep learning label img. Okay, now we come to this folder. In this folder we run this command and paste. Okay, and now we have already installed the labelImg. Now we run it, and every when we want to run it, we do the same. We must move to this folder and run the command python labelImg py, and the software will open for us to label. Okay, now we will get some images to label. For example, the previous example of us is to detect rose and sunflower, and I just want to make an example of it. So wait a minute, I will copy the images. Here, image. This is the folder have image. For example, you can select your own. Deep learning. This is images. Motion. I want to rename it images, and I make a folder called text. Now we go back to the labelImg, and we want to label the image. We must select the image that was in target E in the folder deep learning and folder images. So we select this folder. You see that all the images are listed here. So we want to label this. Wait a minute. We should change the save here. If we don't do this, on the text will save in the images folder, and if we change, we select the text folder here, it will save our result in the text folder. And next we have select change the format. It can be many type, but we should change it to Yolo because we want to use it for Yolo v5. Okay, now we will create rectangle. Create a rectangle. To create a rectangle, we will press here and we do this. Okay, and you see there is a lot of previous class has been added in LabelImg, and we want to remove it to make it clear. We have to do something. First we cancel this, and then we close close this program. And we go to the folder LabelImg. Wait a minute. Let me check. Okay, I found it. You go into data and you have a text file here. This is the pre-trained class, so we delete it on. Okay, we delete it. Or you can type your class here, or you can add in the program. So I think you should add in the program. What we need, we will add there, not here. Okay, now come back. We will introduce how to open the LabelImg from the beginning. First, we open the Colab prompt, and we will move to the LabelImg folder. LabelImg LabelImg, and then we will run the program by the command Python LabelImg py.py, and the program run. And now we do the same. Select the folder to load the images, select save folder to save the text file, and this is Yolo. Okay, now we begin by click create rectangle. Okay, we enter the class name. For example, here is rows, and we want to save the text file. We must press save. We use the key Control and S at the same time. So after we press that, we check in the text folder. We have a file text.txt. Here we have one class name is rows, and we check the file rows1. We have here number 0 is the first class and the coordinate of the rectangle. That's what we should have. Now we move to the next image by press next image. You can press here next image. So we have rows here. We can press W on the keyboard for save time and rows. Okay, and press Control and S. Here we have the name rows2.jpg, and after we press Control S, we have the rows2.txt2 and the class number 0 and the coordination of the rectangle. And for example, I want to label the sunflower. I also draw a rectangle here, draw the sunflower, and we have new name sunflower. So the class is sunflower. Control S, and now we have the text file sun1.txt, and we have here the first number is 1 because the class is 1, and this is the coordination. So far we have all images have one class. Now try something here. We have two flower, so we draw two rectangles. Okay, sunflower. Here we have sunflower. So here we have two sunflower. Press Ctrl S and then open the file sunflower 13. We have the first line is the first rectangle, the second line is the second rectangle, and the class number is 1 and 1. That's all we have. And after that you will run and save on the folder, right? And after you run and draw on the images, we will have something like this. We have something like this: row 1 to 0, rows 14, sun 1 and 2, sun 14, text file, and we also have a class file like this, the name. And now I will introduce how to create a dataset too. So for example, we will copy the Yolo file folder, to this folder. Okay. Okay, this folder you can download at the link in the slide. File. I gave the link in the Jupyter folder. Here, copy this image. Prepare folder, or you can download on in here. This link you can download on the content here. Include the Yolo v5 folder, and after we download Yolo v5 folder here, we should to create dataset, we should create a folder named dataset. The organizer should be like this here, and in this dataset we want to create new folder named flower. We create flower here. Okay, in this flower we have two folder, images and label. So we should new two folder, images and new folder, labels. So which is the images? Here we want to training the flower, for example. Yeah. So this is the image we should put in the dataset. So we come back to flower and we create a folder named train, because we want to use these images for training. We could create another folder called evaluation, for example, to evaluate our model but it for easy we could use the same folder train. Okay, and the label also we create train here. And what I want to say is this: what was in this train folder is the text file. It's the text file we have made before by the LabelImg. We have on the text file here. Remember, only the text file name with similar to the images. We do not copy the class name here. In the text file, we have class name and other, because I did not do on the file in this tutorial, so just some text file here, but there is the file classes here. We don't copy it, we just know there is two class, rose and sunflower, and we use it to modify our dataset by creating a file in the folder Yolo file data, and here we have create a flower.yml, and in this file we show the path to the dataset, because we are dataset flower, so our dataset is flowers, so the path is datasets and flower. And when training, we use the subfolder images train, and for evaluation we also use images and train. We just put it here, the path to the images folder, and the label folder can be refer from this, so we should not write them here, just write the images folder. And the number of class is 2, and names is rose and sunflower. It means that the first class is rose, the second class is sunflower, the 0 class is rose, the number 1 class, the class number 1 is sunflower, the first and the second. That's all we have to do. 3 things. First, we have a file.yml to describe the database, or where it is, which is train, which is valuation, the number of a class, and the names. Sometimes they remove this, but the others should have. And then we must have dataset folder and images and label. That's all we need. And after that, we continue to run the command here for training. We should run the command here for training. And now we will use we use Colab or Yolo, but I'm sorry, we use Colab or Jupyter, but your laptop don't have the video card, so it runs slowly. We should run on Colab, so we upload all of them to Colab. Now let's see. No, not this. Colab. And as you know, the last time we have a Yolo folder here. So on your dataset, should upload to the dataset folder, right? For me, I use flower, so we have images and the labels, okay. And also in the Yolo file, in the data folder, I have the flower.yml. Yeah, right? That's all we need. And then we go back to the Colab file we have run before, and I have to introduce to you before. We running the code. Firstly, we have them, so we don't use the install codes. We just do the second. And firstly, we have to connect to the machine, connect to the Colab, and make sure we connect to driver. And then mounting the Google too, because the last time we used it, remember. Okay. We don't see here. No. Okay, driver here, so it's okay. We have driver here. In my driver, we have Yolo file. So we run this to move to the content driver, my driver Yolo file. It's like we move to driver E and LabelImg folder like we did before. Here we run in Colab. We must include the percentage sign here, and some example function to show image on we have done before. To detect, for example, we move to the training parts. They detect video. Yeah, training part. Like I said before, we just run this command. Remember, if your dataset do another file to express, for example, fruit, you have fruit or YAML here, and anything is your dataset, just change it. And remember, it is the default path. You should put this file in the data folder, right? And this is the way you save the result. And just run it. We will train it. And after time, you have result. Some small time or long time, it depends on the computer and depends on the number of images, number of class. So that's all. After you run this 100 epoch, you will have the best weight saved in the result folder. You're just using it to predict the images to check that your model is good or not. Thank you.